A new Main Street eatery and a decision from the state in terms of package store licenses. Details on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Monday, March 4th, 2013. I'm Sarah Colvin. The Barnstable Licensing Authority met earlier this morning. We have details from that today. A new cafe featuring vegan, vegetarian, and gluten-free food will soon open its doors in the space that once housed La Petite France Cafe. Nate Fanaro was before the board this morning asking for a new common victular license for the planned Green Lotus Cafe.
So we're taking over the old La Petite France Cafe. Pretty much
What's the name of it?
It's the La Petite France Cafe.
Certainly. Are you Nathaniel Manara?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And any changes? Or are we going to run it just like the way it was? Or?
Pretty much we're going to keep all the breads with the exception we're going to add gluten-free and rye, and everything's going to be vegan and gluten-free and vegetarian.
Any questions regarding this? It's a nice spot before. I don't know what happened.
He just got tired.
Just got tired.
Yeah, he just got tired. Yeah. Now it's my job to get up at 4 in the morning and make the bread.
Mr. Berman.
Mr. Chairman, on the application of Green Lotus Cafe, doing business as Green Lotus Cafe, 349 Main Street, Hyannis, Nathaniel Fanara, manager, for a new common victular license with 18 interior seats and 6 exterior seats on the sidewalk, to be open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. I move it be granted.
I'll second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed. Motion carries. Your application has been approved.
The former owner of Cape Cod Precious Gems is now behind bars after being found guilty on several counts of receiving stolen property. The licensing authority is working to decide whether to take action on the pending show cause hearing. Barnstable Police Lieutenant John Murphy commented on the case.
Back in December 4th of 2009, the Barnstable Police Department executed a search warrant on Cape Cod Precious Gems, which resulted in the recovery of some stolen property from housebreaks in Falmouth and ultimately led to the arrest of Carl Marchetti, the owner and proprietor of the business. He was charged and indicted in Barnstable Superior Court with 6 counts of receiving stolen property over. In the January 25th of 2013, he went to trial in front of a jury. He was ultimately convicted of 3 counts of receiving stolen property over $250, 2 counts of receiving stolen property under $250, and he's acquitted on 1 count of receiving stolen property under $250. During the course of the trial, a motion was made that the police department was, or the district attorney's office was unable to prove the value of 3 of the complaints was over $250, so Judge Nickerson reduced the charge to receiving stolen property under $250. He was convicted and sentenced to 4 to 5 years in state's prison on 1 count, 4 to 5 years state's prison on and after on a 2nd count, and 15 years probation on a 3rd count of receiving stolen property over. So he's looking at doing 8 to 10 years in Walpole. He was given fines on the 2 counts that he was convicted for receiving stolen property under $250. So I would suggest to the board that the burden of proof has been met in that Mr. Marchetti should not be able to obtain a license for secondhand junk dealers in the town of Barnstable. In the next, obviously, 8 years, he will unable to, but certainly during the course of his 15-year probation.
Okay, thank you. And I understand that the new bylaw that we have was instrumental in the conviction?
Yes, it was. It was the cornerstone of the police department's prosecution of it. The implementation of the bylaw provided us with probable cause to obtain the search warrant, which ultimately led to Mr. Marchetti's conviction.
Very good. So we've had the, did we ever have the show cause hearing at all? Do we have any? We never had any. This was just continued.
No, it was.
Did have a hearing where, excuse me, we did have a hearing where the renewal was discussed, and there was not a renewal of the license at that particular point.
2 years.
So
they really don't have a, this is not a licensed place now, so there's no license at all.
that's correct.
It hasn't been since 2009.
I think that
His license was revoked or suspended by the board in in December of 2009, and then the show cause hearing was at the request of his attorney, Attorney Atwood, put over until this matter was closed, and then in the subsequent years, 2010, 2011, 2012, they never applied for a renewal of the license.
The board ultimately voted to take no action and to determine at a later date on whether any action on the pending show cause hearing is necessary now that Marchetti has been convicted and jailed. Well, after many months in limbo, the licensing authority finally has an answer from the State Alcohol and Beverage Control Commission regarding the number of beer and wine and full package store licenses available in town. And the answer was somewhat surprising. Board member Richard Scally provided an update.
We're over our limit.
Yes, I finally took it upon myself to call the chairperson of the ABCC, and I spoke to her directly, and she assured me that we would have an answer within 2 days. That afternoon, I received a phone call from Mr. Sacramone and from Mr. Kelly, and within a matter of a day, we had a fax sent to us with the decision. So they said they hope that you appreciated, and they appreciated your patience in waiting for their decision, but it was a complicated matter because of the seasonal permits. So the memo that I sent to you on February 15th explains that the seasonal licenses are now rolled into the quota number of licenses, and therefore we are only allowed 10 full alcohol package licenses and 10 beer and wine licenses. There are 9 beer and wine licenses that are issued, and 1 you have pending before you, which is the AMP, and that's continued to the 25th. The full package licenses, we have 14 that are issued, so therefore we are now 4 over quota according to the ABC. Those will continue to be able to be transferred or sold so long as there's no violations and they're not revoked or suspended or canceled in some way. But that there would not be any more to issue at this point unless someone sold one to them. But that does not prevent you from challenging that if you wish to, or to go to the legislature and ask for more licenses or a change in the interpretation of the kinds of licenses that you would like to see.
Mr. Brown.
But the town could decide to appeal that decision and ask for more licenses.
Yeah, the appeal process is kind of onerous. That it might be if there is any inclination to change this, you might think about simply doing it legislatively. Do a petition through the council to the legislature for a home rule petition to change that number.
Mr. Chairman, do we have a time limit in which we need to respond if we want to appeal?
I don't know that, but I'll find out.
Geiler elaborates on the possibility of an appeal and what could occur.
In the end, and I haven't really talked to the town attorney's office about this, but that's where the conversation should be. In the end, we probably would end up with something that was a mix of the two things. I think that's why I would be inclined to, if you want to pursue what I believe we have a right to, is to do it legislatively, with that language from that 1979 legislation. What the ABC is looking at is 2 years after we did that with a local petition, they did it with a statewide petition, but with just a little bit slight different language. Where ours really, and I believe, gave those licenses full license status, the state's language did not. I think ours should stand.
Our decision is whether we would appeal it and because we want more licenses rather than those that exist.
Right.
The Barnstable Market has been seeking a full package store license to replace its beer and wine only license. With this new development, it seems as that is not likely to be approved. You can watch the full licensing authority hearing online at town.barnstable.ma.us. Just click on video on demand. With Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Colvin.